Hi guys, this is Ranjit. I hope you guys are doing good. In this video, we'll be doing the review for the Sony's premium TWS that are known as the Sony XM1000 XM5s, WF XM5s I'm going to call them. And I also had the XM4s also, so we'll also be comparing with them, because if you guys have been following me, you guys know that I like the sound signature on the XM4 TWS, but I simply could not recommend them because of the ear fatigue that this gave. Fortunately, I would say Sony has solved a lot of things, and in fact I would seriously say this WF XM5, Sony has listened to a lot of critical feedback, because a lot of feedback that reviewers and users have given, they have sort of implemented in this one. So is this the perfect high-end TWS that you can get? Let's find out. And guys, if you guys follow me, we'll be going over all these typical aspects so that you have a better understanding about each and every aspect of this TWS. By the way, it comes in this eco-friendly packaging, so you have to just open it, tear it, it just comes out. This is the box itself. You get some paperwork and all these things, and apart from that, okay, you also get this extra earbuds. Okay, there is one more inside that. There'll be one pre-attached, so 3 are there. One is inside this missing, and a small USB Type-C cable. So I'll just put this back here inside this one, and let's go back to the TWS itself. These are the new XM5. These are more rounded, and these were the original XM4s. So definitely in volume, these are slightly more compact, I would say. And that is also evident in one big fact, is that when I open this one, if you notice, these XM4s, they were significantly bigger. So these are significantly smaller compared to the XM4s. That's why when you wear them also, these are lighter and they don't jut out that much. And that also works out in the comfort department. I'll talk about that later. But let me just keep that to the side. But first, let's look at the first thing, that is build quality and looks, which can be subjective. Here, if you notice with the new XM5, we just have a tiny LED light over here. This denotes in different colors. Right now, it's almost fully charged. That's why it's in green color. And if you notice on the XM4, it was a slightly longer like this one. I like this design. This, I don't know, in terms of design, I think so this was a lot better. But apart from that, I also like one big thing, is that with the XM4s, we didn't have a dedicated button to pair. You had to actually hold them for 7-8 seconds, then it used to go into pairing mode. Here we have a dedicated button, so you can just press this and pair it to any device. So this is a lot more simpler. And again, we also have the Type-C port. So that's what it is. And this feels a little bit more compact to hold, I would say. So in that way, I would say it's an improvement, and build quality is good. I didn't have any issues with this one. It's nice. So overall, build quality and looks, it's not the most compact, but again, looks good. So let's give it a rating of 9 out of 10. Okay, next thing is terms of Bluetooth range. Again, this has the latest Bluetooth, that is Bluetooth 5.3 and all this thing. And I did not have any issues regarding Bluetooth. Not only while connecting with the normal Bluetooth mode, but even when I was using the higher codec. Yes, this does support LDAC. And the good thing is that I'll show you that in the app. With LDAC also, you can connect simultaneously to 2 different devices, which was not possible with the XM4. This one has a new chip, so that's how they are able to do it. So in terms of Bluetooth connectivity also, I did not have a problem. So in terms of Bluetooth, I would again give it excellent 10 on 10. And I like the fact that even with LDAC, you could actually simultaneously connect to 2 different devices, which was not possible. Okay, lag while watching video, again, very negligible, like most TWSs, I would say. Again, you will not notice. I did not notice while watching, what do you say, I used it on 2 devices. For example, the Fold 5 and even the Pixel 8. And I did not notice any lip syncing, major lip syncing issues with YouTube videos and even with Netflix. But sometimes with YouTube, it was happening. But again, if you just pause the video and just resume it, it was fixing it. With competitive gaming, I would say, yes, there is a slight noticeable lag sometimes if you notice carefully. But again, that is something that you'll notice with almost every other TWS. So that way, I would say. Also, I would say when you're doing gaming and stuff, don't keep it on LDAC and stuff like that. So Bluetooth, again, I did not have any major issue. This is a typical, I would say, what you get with higher end TWSs. That was the same thing. Now let's move to apps, buttons and customization. I've already shown you we have one extra button over here at the bottom for pairing. Let me just zoom in. But when you open up the buds itself, again, like most Sony TWSs, these are touch type capacitive. Again, you just tap in to go to various modes and stuff like that. That's the same case. So it's divided between left earbuds and right earbuds. We also have quite a bit of microphones for ANC and also for transparency, all that. I'll talk about that later on. And I'll just put this here. And okay, I have to wear it because let me show you the app, because here we notice some new improvement. Let me just go to the transparency mode. I'll just tap it here. And yeah, now it's in the transparency mode. So this is the app itself. As you can see, by default it shows you the state of the TWS itself and the battery status. And if you notice closely, I have set it to LDAC. And right now, again, as I've told you, this device does support simultaneously connecting to two different devices. So it's connected to my Z Fold 5. This is the Z Fold 5 as well as this Pixel 8. So this is truly connecting to two different devices simultaneously, and I did not have an issue. In fact, I did all my testing while it was connected to two different devices. So here is your play. Again, it also found a new firmware update. I just aborted it because when I got it, it got one. I think it's got one more. You can actually disable this auto update thing if you want. That's an improvement. Earlier Sony's used to just update it on the go. So apart from that, simultaneously connecting to two different devices, even with LDAC. If you go to the sound department, if you have used earlier Sony devices, this is very, very similar to that. Again, you have the ambient control, noise cancelling, and all those things. You can also control this while just using this one. If you just tap in here, as you can see, it will just move to noise. It's now to noise cancelling. If I tap it, it's going to ambient sound where I can hear anything, and if I can tap here, it goes to off. You can also control regarding the ambient sound how much you want ambient sound. I'll talk about the ambient sound clarity and all those things in the later part of the video. We also have the voice to chat. Again, another thing that we have is like Sony does provide us a lot of options in terms of audio. This I always like. This is my preset equalizer that I've done, but again, it has tons and tons of, this is my custom, but it has a tons and tons of EQ that you have. I'll come to the sound department later on. I've just customized it slightly to boost a little bit of treble because I felt that the trebles were slightly muted in the default profile. That was again very, very similar even to the XM4. So almost in terms of sound signature, it's very, very close to the XM4. Okay, moving again, you have the analyzed ear shape and all those things. So you can put in these different ear tips and it'll analyze which is the best fit for you. Okay, so that's what it is. And again, system, you can also customize what you want while changing the touch and all those things and playback controls and all those things. So that way, I would say one thing they have done is that this app has always been good, and they have actually improved it. Now LDAC is supported with two different devices also, and also there was one more thing that I like. So in terms of apps, again, Sony app, I would say among TWS was always a 10 on 10 to me, and the apps and buttons customization is again really, really good. There is one bonus thing also. I'll talk about it, what I like about this TWS that's enabled with this app later. Okay, now let's come to the comfort part. Here, if you guys recall, with the XM4s, I simply did not like them because it was too bulky, and the ear tips and everything, again, these are memory foam ear tips, not the silicone type. So again, these also will take a little bit of a day or two to get used to it. But again, because the overall shape of the earbuds is a lot more smaller, these are way, way, way more comfortable, and I can wear them for 3-4 hours without any ear fatigue. That was not the case with the XM4 for me, even though actually I've changed the ear tips of the XM4, as you can see, so tiny ones that I've put. Then also these actually still give me ear pains. So that way, I would say the XM5 in terms of comfort has improved by leaps and bounds. But again, if I have to say the most comfortable Sony TWS again for me will be the Link Buds S, which I had reviewed about 6-7 months ago. Those are still more comfortable than this one. But in terms of comfort, I would say these are way more comfortable than the XM4. And in terms of comfort, I would say most of you will get used to it. This getting used to this memory foam tips takes a little bit, but you'll get. But in comfort, I will give it 9 on 10 now, which is a big improvement compared to the XM4. Okay, now coming to the active noise cancellation. Oh my god, again here Sony was always very good, and now I feel with the new chipset what they have in this one, the new processor, they have improved on the noise cancellation even more on this one. So in terms of noise cancellation, I have to say these are actually one of the best TWS that you can get. In fact, I just activated the noise cancellation and I'm in a bubble right now. Also, another thing that I like with this one, I'll just remove the noise cancellation. It looks weird. Another thing that I like is that even with the noise cancellation, you don't get that ear fatigue or that weird sensation that we have with some of the other TWSs or even headphones that have actually very good noise cancellation. So that way, in terms of noise cancellation, I have to say these are one of the best. In fact, I didn't expect that they will improve the noise cancellation slightly over the XM4s, because the XM4s were definitely also very good among the top in terms of noise cancellation. But this, I feel, gets the award from me as of now for the active noise cancellation. So active noise cancellation is a 10 on 10 for me. Now coming to the microphone quality, again this did improve with the XM4s a little bit, and even with the Link Buds S they improved it, but Sony was never known for the microphone quality. But here I have to say they have really nailed the microphones. Again, even the Sony XM5 headphones, over the ear headphones, they had improved the microphone like crazy, and that's the same thing that they have done with this WF XM5 TWS. In terms of microphone quality, they have really improved. In fact, even in noisy areas, if you are taking a call, it does cut a lot of sound and the other people will not complain. That way I would say the microphone quality is really good. I would say if I have to give it a rating, I would say this is almost very close to the AirPods Pro. I would give it 9.5 out of 10. So if you take a lot of calls, etc., even in outdoor situations on the streets and stuff, you can easily take with this one. You will be satisfied, and people on the other end will not complain that it's too noisy or something like that. So that way they have really okay. Now this is one thing that Sony has added on this one. Volume adjustment was simply not there on the XM4s, or if you enable it, you had to remove some major functionality, for example. But now what they have done is, it's not the cleanest solution, I would say, but let's say if you're listening to music or something, if you tap the right one 1, 2, 3, 4 times, it increases the volume. And to lower the volume, you have to tap in 4 times. Yes, it's not the idealistic thing, but again, now you can finally control the volume of this one. So I would say, yes, they have implemented it. But again, you have to tap it in 4 times, which again you might miss sometime, because double tap, you go to the next track, triple tap, you go to the previous track. So finally it's there, but again the implementation could have been, again, a slider, something like that would have been better. So yeah, it is there. Now coming to the battery life, I am very happy with this one. To be very frank, I simply could not drain them in one session. Sony claims that this will last for about 8 odd hours, and I listened with ANC also with this for almost continuously for about 5 hours. Then I had to just take it out and put it in here, and it just charges. So in terms of battery life also, it will not have an issue. In fact, these are much better than even the AirPods Pro 2 and stuff in terms of battery life. Again, in terms of battery life among TWS, again on the top, I would say. So battery life is not an issue. Now let's come to the sound quality for music and soundstage. The soundstage, okay, let's first talk about the soundstage. The soundstage is very punchy music on this one. So if you are a person who likes that punchy music, you will actually like it. And if I have to break it down between the bass, mid-tones and high tones, definitely like the XM4s and even the prior XM3s, the bass is slightly elevated on this one, which most of you will like it. I would say 95% of you will like it, but the purist I would say, if you look at it, no, it's not neutral. And I would say for most of the track, 95% of the tracks, I enjoyed the bass on this one. But again, if there was some tracks that already had elevated a lot of bass and thump, that was getting slightly jarring on this one. So that is something that you have to note. But again, overall, I would say most of you will like the bass. In fact, if you are a person who likes that extra bass, you will actually love it. So the bass and the sound signature is done excellent on this one. Coming to midtones, I like the vocals on this one, crystal clear. They're so good that you start actually singing. Beautiful tonality that you get on this one. So that way I don't have wrong. Again, in terms of high tones also, it's done very well. I would say it's not fatiguing to ears, but I felt with the default EQ, that is no EQ, the trebles slightly were muted and didn't have that shimmer. But as I've told you, I could easily fix that, and I had to actually do that even in the XM4s, so that's nothing new. And if I go to the app, it will just connect. I'll show you. I just had to boost, if I go to the sound, boost the equalizer slightly, just by 2 points, and now I get the perfect sound signature that I want. And I love the fact that you can set this EQ on one device, and this EQ is actually now stored on the TWS. So this EQ is applied even if you use this on another smartphone. So you have to just slightly tweak it a little bit, I would say. And again, now I feel I have a very good sound signature on this one. So in terms of sound, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even if you recall the XM4s, I love the sound on that one. The only thing that I did not like was the ear fatigue that I was getting. That is now more or less, I would say, 90% solved on this one. But again, this is still that memory foam, so you might have to just, if you are very picky, replace it with a silicone tip or whatever, because getting used to this memory foam does take a little bit of time. So overall, in terms of music, if I have to rate it, yes, as I've told you, the bass is there, it's very well done, but sometimes if it's too bassy track by default, it can get a little bit muddy. That's the only nitpicking that I have in terms of sound. Apart from that, excellent sound. So if it's just for the sound, I would give it a rating of 9.6 out of 10. But if I have to overall give it a rating, I would say one area where it loses slightly is, I forgot, that is in the transparency mode. Transparency mode means you can just set it and you hear things that are outside. Here I feel still the AirPods 2 Pro actually have an edge in the transparency mode. Here Sony has improved it because the microphones have improved, but in transparency mode, if the AirPods Pro 2, I feel that's the best, that's the benchmark, that's 10 on 10. This I would give it a rating of about 8 out of 10. Sometimes it does feel a little bit artificial. That's the only place where I would say it takes away point. But overall, if I talk about just the sound quality for music listening and all these things, these sound way better than the AirPods 2 Pro. I'll be blunt about that. But overall, if I have to rate this one out of 10, I would give it a very strong rating of 9.4 out of 10. And if you are in the market looking for a premium TWS from Sony, I can finally actually recommend this one. Now coming to the pricing of this one, the regular MRP price is about 29,000 or something. But during the Amazon sale initially, it was listed for 22,000. Right now it's not listed. Anyway, I'll leave the link of Amazon. So if you're getting it at that price point of about 22,000 or something, this is a very good deal. Right now I saw it on Chroma, it was at 25,000. So Sony is definitely charging quite a bit of premium. But if it comes down around the 20,000 price point or something, these stereos sound amazing. I just hope that in the long run, this TWS does not have battery life issues like what we had with the XM4. For example, these are my XM4s, and even when I fully charge it, the right bud will last for a couple of hours, but this one just dies after 20 minutes. So there is a known issue with the XM4 regarding the battery life issues. I hope Sony has fixed that in XM5. I can't comment about that one as of now. Yes, I have used it for the last 3 weeks, and battery life, etc., as of now is holding very well. I just hope this one, the XM5, does not have the battery life issues like what the XM4 had. So overall, I would say 9.4 out of 10, and this product gets a big thumbs up if you're on a market for a high-end TWS. Anyways, guys, would love to know what do you feel about this review. Did you like it? What you didn't like? And if you have the XM5s, what do you feel about the XM5s? And guys, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.